welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa if you're new here, and I am a homeschool mom to 5 and a military wife, and today I'm sharing with you our homeschool haul for next year. I might get a couple more things here and there or some more books, we'll see, but I think this is pretty much it. So this is a big haul. I might put it into 2 videos, a part 1 and a part 2, just if it is a little too long. So I'm going to start with Memorial Press stuff. If you are new to my channel, you probably don't know that we get the majority of our curriculum from Memorial Press, which is a classical Christian curriculum. So it's got Christian elements all the way through. If that's not your thing, then this curriculum may not be for you, but that's completely fine. So this is the one that I chose when we first started homeschooling. This will be my 7th year homeschooling this next year here in the fall. So I've homeschooled junior kindergarten or preschoolish for my oldest all the way to 6th grade now. So I'm pretty excited to share with you guys these things. If you have any homeschool questions or videos that you would like to see, or if you would like to see more of a flip through of certain things, you can let me know down in the comments. If you have questions or homeschool questions or things like that, go ahead and let me know. I'm going to start with the things that I got for my 6th grader. I still have a little bit of a cold, so I'll be drinking a little bit of water here and there. So I'm going to start with what I got for my 6th grader, and I have it kind of all laid out here. So I wanted to make sure that I got this stuff put away soon so that my little ones do not touch it and mess with it, because if it's laying on the floor, it tends to be touched. So, so these couple things here, let's see, this one said Courage and a Clear Mind, True Adventures of the Ancient Greeks. I think this is for my 6th grader. I don't remember if I got it for him or if I got this for my little guy. I don't remember. But this says the True Adventures of the Ancient Greeks. So it's kind of like an audiobook. It looks like it has like Homer and the Trojan horse and things like that. So I don't know. I think we'll probably all enjoy it, listening to it. So that is something we got. And my 2 oldest are doing Latina Christiana. So these are Latina Christiana desk charts. So I thought this would be helpful for them. And they're small enough that they would actually fit into the front of their notebooks. So I think that might be helpful for them. And I don't have to necessarily put them on a desk or on the wall or anything like that. It'll just be in their notebook. So Geography 1 is technically 5th grade, but if you have seen it in my videos before, I have children that have dyslexia, and I had dyslexia, and so we use a lot of Barton and things like that, but my oldest, we kind of had to get him caught up on certain things, so we might be a little bit behind on certain things, but we're trying to get caught up. And so that's why I'm starting him out with Geography 1. He's been still working on 50 states, and I think that's completely fine. So we are going to do Geography 1 this next year. And it comes with a teacher's guide, a student's workbook, and then also the student's textbook. And so that's kind of neat. So there's got some information about, you know, a country, and then the map there. So basically they're doing a lot of map work in this, in Geography 1, and I think that he probably actually will use a lot of the student workbook, and he does enjoy doing like copywork and things like that, and some writing, but too much writing can be overwhelming to him, so he is getting less overwhelmed with it as we go along, but so I try to do less of that, but this one looks like it's mostly like labeling places and things like that, so I think that he can handle that one. And then also, of course, they had come with a huge stack of geography flashcards as well, which is really neat. So we are going to learn all those places, and I think that for Geography 1, it is the Middle East, North Africa, and Europe. So then in Geography 2, you do the other half, and then in Geography 3, I think that you go more in depth after you've learned where places are, I believe. I'm not sure. So I think that's how they have it laid out, but I could be wrong. You'll have to look at the geography if you want to look more at that for all the different levels. The 5th grade thing that we're doing is Famous Men of Rome. And Famous Men of Rome, I wanted to kind of go straight through the way they had it. They have Famous Men of Greece and things like that. So I wanted to just go straight through, and so I thought it was necessary to start with this one. This looks really neat. So it comes with flashcards of all the different famous men of Rome, and then something about them, you know, so that they can kind of tell who they are. You get a student's guide. Like I said, for a lot of these, I may not even have them write a ton of it, do a ton of the writing, but we would do a lot more of a discussion than writing. And that still works for them. They do really, really well with that, and they still learn a lot. So I love all the books that go along with the readings and stuff like that, because there's vocabulary questions, there are comprehension questions, there's discussion questions, and there's enrichment stuff. And so in some of these, there's some really cool activities too. Let's see if I can find some different activities in this one. So this one had some really neat activities. I'm trying to see if I can find one here. Draw a picture of soldiers passing under the yoke on a drawing page. So there's just different things, or like draw a picture of gladiators, study gladiators, or kind of do a study on gladiators, draw a picture of a fight between gladiators, things like that. He is going to love this because he loves swords, weapons, and wars and things like that. So this is going to be right up his alley. Like I said, that's the teacher's guide. This is the student's guide. We may not do tons in the student's guide. Like I said, we might do it more discussion style. But you can see there's some really cool pictures in here. And that is the Famous Men of Rome text right there. So that is what that looks like. Comes here, let's see. He has been doing English Grammar Recitation 1, and I really like these. They have these set up for, they do grammar in their Latin. They do learn a lot of their grammar in Latin, but they also have a little bit of other places that they do some grammar too. And so this one is Grammar Recitation 2. And so basically what they do is they recite these grammar rules, and they learn those, and then they do kind of copy work and copy them. And then they do a practice where they're like circling different things in the sentences and stuff like that. So these are really, really helpful for learning grammar, and I think they're important. So like I said, we've done 1, so we're going to do 2, and then I think we'll be good on that one. I can't remember how far we go up on those, but the language arts books are really great. This one is grade 5. I think we might get 6 too. We'll see. But it has lots of similar things through the grades, just a little bit different as they get older. You know, the print's smaller, things like that. And there's probably a little bit more into certain grammar rules and things like that. So anyways, this is a really, really good book. Super simple, super easy to go through, and we have done pretty much all the levels up, I believe. So creating art was actually, I think, up to 3rd or 4th grade. I can't remember. But he loves art. He's very good at it. And this one, I thought even the younger kids might enjoy doing with him. So they're doing some different paintings and things like that, you can see. So he's just learning how to create some art, and then also there's some art concepts like color theory and things like that as well. So I just thought you'd enjoy this. So I added that to our stuff. So I have that. And then, like I said before, he loves Copywork, so I did get the Copywork Cursive 3 scripture, and so you'll see He's copying verses in cursive, and he loves writing in cursive and doing copywork. He's very good at it. It looks very nice. So it's a good way to, you know, make sure that you're putting periods on sentences and things like that, and he's practicing that even if he's struggling with it, with his spelling and stuff a little bit. So Barton has been huge for him, and today, super exciting, but he started spelling and reading 2-syllable words. So that is very, very different for him. We've gone from crying and things, from just trying to, you know, make simple sounds and things like that, and starting to read, to actually being able to read, you know, parts of chapter books and things like that. So very big for him, very excited. I think we're huge fans of Barton. So I think that he can do this one, and I know that he's done the audiobook for it, so that can really help with their fluency if they've listened to the book before and then they're reading it. So I'm gonna have him read this book to me sometime this year. I got the teacher's guide and the student's guide. We may not do all the writing, like I said before, but the discussion is very important. And because of these guides, if you do not use the student guide, that's fine, but you should definitely get the teacher's guide and go through those comprehension questions and vocabulary and discussion, because all my kids have great vocabulary and comprehension because of this. So these literature guides are very important. So he's going to be excited to read this to me. I may grab a 6th grade reading book as well. I'm thinking maybe Robin Hood. But again, we're still doing Barton. We're on level 4, and that is a lot of his reading and spelling right now. But I do want him to start getting into reading some of the books as well for his grades as he gets closer to that grade and things like that. So actually 6th grade science, I was thinking that the 5th grade science, when his brother gets to it, he could probably just sit in and listen. It's insects, so he'll probably enjoy just sitting in and listening, and that'll be fun for him. But for 6th grade, this next year for him, we are going to do birds, and this is a really neat book. I mean, it is super cool. So that is it right there, and then there's just so much great information and pictures in there, and it comes with, let's see, the first guide to birds of North America. He's gonna love this. He is always looking outside and drawing birds that are in our yard and things like that with great detail. So this is gonna be great for him to identify what bird it is. And then also it comes with flashcards. So the goal is for them to learn 31 birds and their bird songs with this course or this curriculum here. So the bird's name is on the back, and then there's a picture on the front, which is really, really nice, these flashcards here that come with it. Also, things that come with it is this field guide coloring book that has stickers of the birds as well, but it's not like little kid coloring books, it's bigger kids. They're very detailed birds. So I really like this a lot as well, and I think he'll enjoy that. And then the last couple things, again, we may not do tons of the writing, but we're definitely going to use, you know, do some of the labeling and things like that for sure. And we will use questions as discussion as well. And we will do some of the writing, just not all of it, because like I said, too much writing can be overwhelming to him. So a good amount, usually when we're working on his, let's see, Institute of Writing, or his Composition 1, or his Copywork, that's a good amount of writing for him. And just, you know, labeling things or doing his grammar, that's a good amount of writing for him. And I mean, he's writing in math and stuff too, so I'm not super worried about it. Now, the other part, the other 6th grade science is this history of medicine, and actually from Master Books is what it says. And I've heard really good things about these science books. So they are Christian based. They are biblical perspective of healing and the use of medicine, and I'm pretty excited about this. There's some really interesting stuff in this one. And he was already excited to look through some of it with me. He's like, oh, that's kind of gross. So, gross is cool for boys, you know. So, so it comes with also a teacher's key and tests, and then also the supplemental student questions. So, like I said, we might use this more as discussion. He might do an oral test. That's how we do some of our work for him. And that is everything that I got for the 6th grade. Like I said, we're still using some other things. We're using Barton. We're going to use Composition 1, Latina Christiana for him, and things like that. So I can do a video more in depth of what exactly I'm using for 6th grade for him if you want to see it, but we're kind of all over the place. So if you order from Memoria Press, you do get their journals, and I love them. This one's the Simply Classical journal for the special needs or that type of curriculum for kind of a slower pace, less writing, that kind of thing. So this is a good one. And I can show you what we're doing. We are doing Simply Classical with one of our kiddos here in just a second. This one is the Classical Teacher. So they have good articles. They have all the curriculum in them. Kind of shows you different things that they have in there. And that's great. And then I have a 4th grader this coming year. So I have a 6th, 4th, 2nd, and kindergarten, and a preschooler. So that's what I've got this next year. And so I did need the 4th grade curriculum manual because he's pretty much doing everything on the core curriculum. We're just probably still going to be doing Simply Classical as far as his spelling until he gets up to where he needs to be with spelling. He's struggling with that, but he's doing so much better with the Simply Classical spelling. So read alouds I got from Memoria Press as well. I think that these are mostly, let's see, 4th and 5th. I didn't get the 6th grade history read alouds. Those ones are really great too, but we haven't read these ones, so I went ahead and did these ones first. And the 6th grade ones, I think there is, we'll get to those too, but those ones had, I know some on slavery and some other things. I can't remember. One of the books was really good that I heard of. So, but we will get to those ones as well. This one is Calico Bush. So there's that one. And if you know anything about Memoria Press, they try to focus mostly on geography in the younger grades. These are read alouds just kind of to introduce them, or they could read them to themselves. They try to make it so it's more their grade level, or you can read them to them. But as they get older, they actually do history. But we start with geography, so you know where those things, those history events take place, and you slowly kind of build on a timeline as you go through your different grades too. So a history timeline, which is really, really neat. So this one is a landmark book, and I love the landmark books. This one is The Landing of the Pilgrims, so that one looks good. And then Madeline Takes Command. I've never heard of this one, but that looks interesting. Guns for General Washington, the story of the Revolution, or the American Revolution. So that one looks good there. Let's see here. This one's another landmark book, and it is Liberty, How the Revolutionary War Began. This one I read when I was little. It's Hiawatha. So that one looks really good, and I'm excited about that one. This one is another landmark, and this one is Ben Franklin. So there's that. And I'm not sure. This will be interesting to read. The Witchcraft of Salem, of the Salem Village. Okay. So there's that. Stowaway. I'm sure that my boys will like that one. Ben and Me. Benjamin Franklin there. That one is really good, it looks like. And then I think somehow I accidentally got Mr. Revere and I, 2 of them, so I'll probably end up giving that to one other homeschool mama at some point that I know. So there is 2 of those. And then, let's see, the other two are the American Revolution and Louisa May Alcott. So that one is going to be good too. I'm really excited because I do love Little Women and one of the other books that we're reading this year. So that is, the boys are going to be interested in that since we're reading one of the books from her this year actually as well. So the other thing that I got from Memorial Press was this Simply Classical for my kindergartner, and he actually wants to start right away. So he is getting ready to turn 6. He has been struggling and pretty sure he has dyslexia and ADHD, but his attention span is very short and he's had trouble with his letters and things like that. And so I'm seeing similar things that happened with his brother. So I know now what helps him. So I'm excited about that. But the Simply Classical curriculum, if you haven't seen it before, it's part of Memorial Press. It's for special needs children. It's also for children that have ADHD or dyslexia or things like that, where they have to work at a slower pace or do more hands-on stuff and less writing. So that's what I love about this one. If you've never checked it out, you should. If you have children that maybe need that a little bit more simple, Simply Classical. So I just love all the hands-on things. I mean, there's a whole list of supplies, you know, things like Play-Doh and certain games and sandpaper letters and just some really cool stuff that is in here. And I'm excited to do that with him as well. And he's ready to start already. So this one is, I decided not to get the read alouds for this level. It is Simply Classical level C, because I'm doing the 2nd grade read aloud set with the little ones, with all my little ones this year, because that's what my daughter is going to be in 2nd grade. So I have the whole set and it didn't make sense to buy a whole nother reading set when we had that one. And then I'm doing, of course, some chapter books as well for my bigger boys. So that's what those read alouds are for. And so this is what I did get for him. This one seemed necessary for some of the stuff that we're doing in the curriculum. But this one's my ABC of Bible verses. So that's what that one looks like. And so there's a verse for each letter of the alphabet. So that's cool. And then I did get 2 read aloud books, because I love this author, illustrator, for the 3 Billy Ghostgraph. I remember these books from when I was little. This one here, and then the Little Red Hen. So these ones are really, really good. And then there are some workbooks that I didn't have that I got to go along with it. A lot of the kindergarten curriculum and junior kindergarten curriculum goes along with this level C. So that is what so I don't need a whole lot with it, but these books I didn't have, and I believe these are part of Rod and Staff, I think. Let me see, yes, Rod and Staff. So Memorial Press uses Rod and Staff for their math, which I love, and so you can check out, I have a video on the Rod and Staff math, and then they also have a couple other books for kindergarten that they use for the Rod and Staff, and so this one's called Finding the Answers. So there's some interesting activities in there that'll probably be good for him. And this one's Going on Eagerly. This one's also a Rod and Staff one. It's kind of got like an Arctic vibe to it. And then this one they just added to the kindergarten curriculum, but they didn't have it when I bought the curriculum. So this one's my very own scissors book. So this will be good for him to practice those fine motor skills. So that's kind of what that looks like. There's some scissor skills in there. And then this other one is Hearing and Helping. And it's kind of a, like a rainforest type thing going on. And it's got some other types of activities in that one. So that's what those look like. And then, of course, he's going to be doing Barton. We already started it, actually, it came this week, and he was so excited. He was ready to start like that day. So this is Barton level 1, and I have all the I have level 2, 3, and 4 right now. But when you get 1, if you go through it super quickly, they will replace it on their, like, you don't have to pay anything. You just send this, you'll send this one in, they'll send you a box to send it in. You send it in, and then they'll send you level 2 back. So that's how that goes, and so that's why I don't have level 1 right now, but I went ahead and got it for him, and then we can go straight on to the other levels because we have them for him since I'm doing them with his older brother. So he's doing well with it, but his attention span's very, very short. So we'll see how that goes, and I think it will help him in the long run, for sure. So the other things I got were not from Memory Press, but they are off the read aloud sets for, I think, 4th and 6th grade. So I'll show you what I got. So I just kind of did Thrift Books, and if you've never heard of Thrift Books, it is a used online kind of bookstore. Basically, you can get books for like $3, $4, $2 on there, so a lot cheaper than what you would buy them. And so I chose to do that to save us some money in the long run. So these are books, like I said, from the 6th grade read aloud set on Memory Press. So you can always find some of these books either at the library. You don't want to use any money, or you could even find them at a used bookstore. So this one I remember reading and loving when I was little. It's definitely sad, a sad book. Where the Red Fern Grows is a great book. And then this one is super sad too. It's about, you know, a girl in a concentration camp. So this is Number the Stars. I'm sure you've probably heard of this one. This one's a classic for sure. And then Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. So there's that one. That is a super good book. I think they're going to enjoy that one. And then this is the one that I've never read, but it's by the same person who wrote Little Women and Old Fashioned Thanksgiving. I'm excited to read this one. Peter Pan, of course. And The Princess and the Goblin. I've never read this one before. So if you've read it, you can let me know in the comments. I've never read that one. Or this one here, Just So Stories. That one looks like it's going to be good too. There's lots of different stories in here. So there's kind of little short stories all put together. And this one's cool because it's actually a really old book. It's an old version, so it's in really nice shape. It's The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. And it also has like a little thing on this author and on the book, which is kind of interesting. So somebody put that in the book in there, so that's neat. And the book is in super great shape, so I'm excited to read that one. The Reluctant Dragon. And I loved this book. It's definitely a sad book. And this is a really old version. I was surprised when I was looking at it and looking at the date that this one was printed. So you can kind of tell it's an old one, but it's really in great shape too. It's really neat, really neat. But Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Like I said, it's a really great book. Definitely kind of sad, but it's a good one. And then I saw Three Ships Sailing. This one's really tiny. It says, let's see, I think it's based out of like a song or something, but there's a song in there in the back. So that's kind of going to be an interesting little read. And then the last couple things I got were from Amazon. So my little guys are going to love this. This is a thermometer for outside, so they're going to tell me what the temperature is outside. So they're going to go check it, and that's going to be fun for them. And then these other two books, if you've ever heard of The Thinking Tree, it's a mom who came up with, who has a lot of children with dyslexia and came up with a lot of fun workbooks for them that kind of are fun games and things like that, or journals, I guess, kind of journaling, and things like that. So this one's called Dyslexia Games. Dyslexiagames.com is where you can order most of them, but I got these ones off Amazon. This one's called Brain Food, and it says art games, puzzles, and mystery patterns. It says 30 fun lessons, intriguing mind games that sharpen the skills necessary for success in reading, writing, and math. So I already kind of showed it to the kids. I don't know if it'll be helpful or not. They're kind of pricey, so I don't know if I'd buy too many more, but I thought we'd give it a try. So that's kind of what it looks like. So they've got to kind of figure out these puzzles, and the kids have already, I printed one out for them, and they all wanted to do it, and they all did it. I don't know if it was helpful to anybody or not, but they all really enjoyed them. So either way, it gets their brains thinking, so I might put some here and there, you know, into their day just to kind of get them going. And then I thought I'd do this for my older boys that were having some trouble with spelling. This is master the top 150 misspelled words, spelling time. But my daughter saw the front and she thought it was definitely for her, and she loves spelling. So this might end up being more for her. I don't know. We'll see. But this is like, take some of these words and make some silly sentences, or color the words, or put the missing letters and the missing words in the line, things like that. So it's supposed to help them be able to spell those words. We'll see if this is helpful or not, and if, I don't know, if she enjoys it or they enjoy it. And then the other last thing, just a kind of small thing, was some graph paper that I need for my big boys. They're gonna have a math binder this next year, and they're gonna be writing their math problems out on the graph paper instead of in the book this year. So that's just kind of how it progresses as they work in workbooks in the younger grades, and then they start to write the problems out. So anyways, that is everything that we got for next year. It was a lot. Woo, so that is everything, guys. And if you are interested in seeing me do a flip through of anything, or if you have any questions, like I said, I do have 6 years of homeschooling under my belt. So if you have a question or something and you're new, I would love to be able to try to answer it for you. I do have some wisdom in the 6 years that I've been doing it, and I feel like we've made a lot of progress and learned a lot. So also, if you have the video ideas, things you'd like for me to talk about as far as homeschooling goes, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next video.